How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone has had a great Sunday. I'm sure that you all have. Obviously, Leeds United 2, Preston 1. It's time for the match review of the game. Just before we get into that in more detail, make sure you are smashing a like on the video. It does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe if you are brand new and help me reach 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Please hit the notification bell as well so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading and going live. And of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and give me your thoughts on how you felt that game went today. And yeah, let's get into it then. Who doesn't love a 94th minute winner, especially a penalty? It was a very frustrating game, though, in my opinion. I think the penalty and the limbs at the end and the very amazing scenes at the end of that game kind of paper over some cracks for me. I thought it was a very frustrating watch being there in the ground. The atmosphere was a bit flat, and I feel like there was only one reason why the crowd kind of got a little bit lively in that second half, and it's down to one individual, and that was the referee. I'll get this out of the way now just before I actually speak about the actual football on display today, but I don't usually like to come on here and criticise refs. I might say if a ref's been poor or whatever, but that for me is up there with one of the worst refereeing performances I've seen at Ellen Road. I feel he didn't really have control of the game from the get-go. It were very whistle happy. He liked his yellow cards. And I thought some of his decisions from him and his linesman today were shocking. Yes, he gives us the penalty, which, yeah, he has to give us the penalty because I have seen it back and it's a blatant penalty. He handballs it in the box, fair enough. But apart from that, I thought he was very biased against us. He might have given the odd thing in favour of us throughout the game, including the penalty. But I did feel like for the large spells of that game, he was very against us, especially the one where Gruev gets fouled and there's a little bit of not a brawl, but they're all kind of shoving each other in like a huddle. And he randomly just books Patrick Bamford when I didn't see Bamford do anything. I've watched it back on my phone and again, can't see Bamford doing anything, but he randomly just books him. He booked Rutter for diving, which fair enough if he has dived. There was one in the first half where one of their guys took Dan James out, and I don't think, or he might have been booked, but the guy was complaining and complaining and complaining. Their manager was a joke as well, acting like a little kid on the touchline. They didn't come to play football today, guys. Let's just be real with that. They didn't come to play football. They came to time waste. Their keeper got booked in the 82nd minute, I think it was, for time wasting when he'd been doing it the whole game. And he purposely did it then because he knew that he wouldn't send him off after that point. That should have been nipped in the bud, maybe the second or third time in the game that he did it. Having little drink breaks in between goal kicks. It was embarrassing from them in all fairness. And what's funny about it is that all that time wasting meant that we got that winner, because if they didn't time waste, Leeds wouldn't have had that time to get the penalty. So it's kind of their own fault, which makes it even better. They were probably the dirtiest team that have come to Ellen Road as well. They were just fouling left, right, and centre. But yeah, enough about the ref and everything like that. I just had to get that off of my chest because I thought it was an absolutely diabolical display from the referee. But the actual football on display, obviously, Leeds United, unchanged lineup today, which I predicted, to be fair. I didn't see the point in changing a winning team. Obviously, thoughts go out to Jadon Anthony and his family at the minute. Fair play to him for being on the bench because, if my mum had passed away this week, I wouldn't even be thinking about football, never mind playing it. So he didn't come on. Yeah, fair enough. But the fact that he was willing to be involved and part of the matchday squad is a testament to him. And like I said, I hope him and his family are okay at this sad time. But yeah, obviously Leeds go a goal down within the first sort of 2-3 minutes. Again, from a set piece. I just knew as soon as the Preston player headed it back over that it would end up in the net somehow, and it was Liam Miller. His shot that took a deflection to make it 1-0 to Preston early doors. And don't get me wrong, I knew that we had plenty of time to get it back, but it was just another case of, should Melier have come and showed a little bit more dominance in his box? Should he have punched it, caught it? But he didn't. He just stayed flat-footed. The defending was poor for that goal as well, but we did equalise pretty much straight away through Dan James. Another header for him, another goal. Player of the match from Sky, and he was my man of the match as well today. Dan James, I thought it was unbelievable. His work rate to track back and help out Archie Gray was very underrated in that game. I thought he did very well defensively as well as going forward. Could have set himself up with a goal in the second half, which he tried chipping over the keeper, but he just missed it. But I felt like after we equalised and large spells of the first half, it was very frustrating. It was an open game, but usually that suits us, but it just wasn't in this game. I thought Glenn Kamara had probably his worst game in a Leeds United shirt. I'm not saying he was terrible, but by his standards, I thought it was his worst game for Leeds. Kept losing the ball, just lackluster, lethargic. There was no urgency in that midfield in first half for me. I thought Gruev had a good game again. Ampadu and Joe Roden. I mean, I am running out of compliments for this guy. He's absolutely immense. There was an instance in that second half where I think after we'd scored the penalty, actually, they played the ball over the top and he kind of just let it run out for a goal kick. And the passion, he was proper screaming at the south stand. You could see it in his face that he gave a shit basically, and that he cares about it. And everyone was just saying around me, sign the guy up, man. Thought it was really, really good. Firpo was good going forward, but not so great defensively. Just a typical junior Firpo game. And he came off just after getting his mandatory yellow card that he has to get every game. But yeah, overall, I thought, there wasn't anybody terrible. But I just thought, especially first half, there was a lack of urgency and a lack of will to get forward. Thought Cree Somerville had another one of them games where it just wasn't his day. Some decent runs and everything, and some nice bits of skill in tight areas, but again, just wasn't really in the game much, in my opinion, today. And the same goes for Patrick Bamford. Again, didn't do anything wrong, but just wasn't really in the game much. I just don't feel like it was his type of game today. And Rutter had a decent enough game, but again, times where he was just holding on to the ball way too long and he was giving the ball away as a result of holding on to the ball. So yeah, but I thought moving into the second half, Leeds were much the better team. And I feel like we were good value for the 3 points. I do feel that when the ref wasn't blowing his whistle and handing out yellow cards left, right, and centre, that Leeds were the better team. And Preston, Preston came to frustrate us. They came to get the crowd frustrated, which they did. They were fouling left, right, and centre, time wasting all the time. They didn't come to win that game. They didn't come to play football. And that makes it even better that they walk away with nothing and that we do get revenge from that defeat at Deepdale on Boxing Day. Melier, other than the goal, I didn't feel like he really had anything to do. They kind of looked promising going forward at times, but without any real conviction, which is good. And we move on to Norwich now on Wednesday night. Obviously, we're the only championship game on Wednesday because it had to get moved because of the FA Cup tie with Plymouth on Saturday. But, if we win that game, then we're a point behind Southampton. Obviously, Ipswich are away to Leicester tomorrow night. I'll be honest, I do fancy Leicester to win that. So fingers crossed they do. And then we'll be a point away from the top two going into the next league game. Obviously, it's kind of annoying because if we do beat Norwich, the momentum's there then, and you kind of want another league game at the weekend. But it is what it is. you know, we'll have the FA Cup game against Plymouth. Hopefully, we can win that just to carry on the momentum. But unbeaten this year so far, which is good. I mean, yeah, all in all, happy guys. You know, we're ever closer to that top two now. Let's hope Southampton can actually drop points at some point, and hope Leicester do us a favour against Ipswich, so that the gap is just 1 point after Wednesday if Leeds United can get through Norwich. But that is a topic for another video. We will be back with all of your pre-Norwich game content over the next few days, guys. Make sure you're keeping it locked on the channel. I may return with the live streams tomorrow, guys. The Last Say may make an appearance tomorrow once again, where I'll be getting all your guys' thoughts on today's game. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure that you're smashing a like on it. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Make sure that you're following the TikTok channel as well, guys, for your daily updates throughout the day whilst I'm at work or out and about in the van. You will be getting updates as things happen regarding transfers. You know, there's not long left of the transfer window now, so Leeds need to be doing business this week. So make sure you keep it locked on TikTok as well for any updates from myself. Hit the notification bell. Get all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.